Let's see. I can't get a background on here. It's all good. But let me let this load up for a little bit. Yeah. Oh, we can green screen. We can green screen, so I can't get a green screen going. But around the 1 minute mark, I start. And I rarely been live directly from YouTube. I just want to try this for a few minutes or a few moments. Excuse me. Let's see. So we about a couple seconds in. I count it down. 4, 3, 2, 1. So we actually lit. We actually in here, though y'all been seeing me. That noise in the background, if you do hear any noise in the background, um, that is from the fan. But I just wanted to post something small, man. Probably no more than 5 minutes. But this screenshot comes from Woodward's reminiscence. It's Thomas Woodward. And while doing in the writing of the book, it's filled with different letters. So in this particular letter, one of his students is describing the Yamasi. Now, first off, the Yamasi isn't one homogenous group. It's many groups of people that were lumped together under the name. However, there's a special detail about these people. So it says, we're talking about the Yamasi. It says, I think he locates the Yamasis, I write from memory, in the middle and eastern portions of Florida. It says they were occupying the country when the Creeks came. So in this time, this is 1589 when this was published, they already knew that the Creeks or the Muskogee were invaders into the southeast. Now it says he describes the Yamasis as having dark skins, coarse hair, thick lips, and flat feet, and as having inferior implements of war to the Creeks. A war of extermination was waged by the Creeks against the Yamasis, and finally at Tennessee, the last of the warriors were killed. Now, this is interesting because they say the last of the warriors were killed, but about 1,000 of the young Creek warriors took sweethearts among the Yamasi girls and saved them from death. Here is my question. We know we're talking about matrilineal societies, right? This would mean this. If the warriors were killed and the mothers were not killed, and the men had children with Yamasi women, the children born from those women would still be quote unquote Yamasi. We're talking about matrilineal, matrilinealship. This is the clan system. Peace to everyone coming in. So when we look at this, they say, well, it says that the Yamasi were dark skinned. Many indigenous people were dark skinned. But what you notice is us that have the dark skin always seem to catch heat from those who can be pale or white passing. Now, this is large. Let me break this. Give me 2 seconds. Let me break this screenshot down, and we're going to read something about black now. Let's see. Let's see. Where we at? Wait, green screen. Take off the green screen. Go back green screen. Why they ain't let me save it? Oh, they evil. They not letting me do it because I'm doing it while I'm on live. But it's all good. I'll go to it this way. I'll just leave it like this. But here, when it's talking about the Oakley Waha, this is actually Woodward's not Woodward's reminiscence. This is the sketch of the Seminole War. So being I can't pull up the smaller screenshot, you can actually Google the book, The Sketch of the Seminole Wars. But it's talking about the Oakley Waha. This is Ocala. And it says the Oakley Waha are thought to be descendants of the Yamasis as they are blacker than all other Indians. And the Yamasis are said to have been remarkably dark complexion. So These same people tell you like, wait, nah, they weren't. There were no there were no black Indians. But in the same time, we have these things documented in the 1800s. Now, what's special about this is when you look into things like congressional records, and this was actually 1900. Hold on, let me see. I'm getting a call. But when you look at the congressional record, what happens is they say the Yamasee were dark skinned or were Negro. In the next year, they say they no longer existed. Then the year after that, it took someone from Paris to say, we found that the Yamasee still exist in places like Florida. Leave a like on this video. We got 0 likes, 11 viewers. What we doing? So now these people are actually fighting over whether the Yamasee are alive or if they aren't, and trying to figure out who are these people today. And many talk about the Ogeechee, right? But what has to be known is that that term came by way of a new people. So while they inhabited the same lands, right? The Ogeechee didn't get his name until the Yuchi came into the southeast. You're correct that the Ogeechee likely had an earlier name before the Yuchi people arrived in the area. So the Yuchi were also dark-skinned indigenous people. And it said that they were actually given dark skin to be proof or a badge of honor, showing that they are descendants from the sun. So let's see. Where else we going? Where else we going? Just regular screenshots that I can drop on the live. Because like I said, I never go live directly from YouTube. Let's see. Oh, people talk about the Wale often, but they thought recently, like Rice says, right, until recently it was thought or held that the Kasabos, just like the Wale, were Muskogean. However, new evidence suggests that the former likely spoke a language related to the Arawakan family, which is crazy. Also, so random information, random drops. What else we got to drop? Random drops. Let's see. Boom. Okay, so I remember talking about this. Someone told me that Holada was never used by the Wale, which was crazy. But Soho Holada, which is Sosa Holada, now he was one of the people that was fighting during the uprising. So with him fighting during the uprising, no one actually asked why did he have the title Olada, which is the same as Orada, and Holada, which is used by the Appalachian. This is an ancient term, which was dealing with those who led their villages. Later came the Mikus. So you will notice doing DeSoto's, like when DeSoto came through, you'll actually start to notice, like, wait, there were Holadas, but there were also Mikus. But the Mikus were only 3. There were thousands of Holadas. So there were thousands of town leaders, but Miku dealt with something different. I'm just throwing, this is random drops now. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? 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 I be seeing people drop oh, okay, let's talk about this. Boom. So this is at Etowah, if I'm not mistaken. But they talk about that the original people that was in this land, these people were displaced by the Mississippians, but continued to live in the area. So when people talk about Mississippian or Mississippian culture, they have to understand what's really going on. That's all I got for y'all. I just wanted to see how it felt going live on directly. Peace. I get